everyone, and welcome to the first episode of this sporadic series that I like to call Let's Talk, where I sit down and talk about shows that I watch but don't normally react to. This episode is about Fear the Walking Dead Season 4. I wanted to start with this show because so much polarizing change has happened in the past 16 episodes. Every week, I sit down and watch the show with my mom. A couple days ago, I asked her if she wanted to record this podcast with me, and luckily, she agreed. So I hope you all enjoy it. I honestly think if they stopped the show right there, you could have ended the show right there.
You mean the season?
No, I meant the show in general.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it ended on such a hopeful, like, we did it, now we're gonna go help other people. Mm-hmm. They could have totally ended the show. Would you be upset if they ended the show right there?
No, it would be fine. Because you know that John and June are together, and they've got the, what's her face? The little girl. Charlie with them. And everyone's on a hopeful note, and they're going to go out and help people. So, yeah, they could have ended it, and it would have been fine.
I think I would have liked to see, because we've only met these new characters this season, or in the past however many episodes, you know what I mean? I would have liked to see more of them, because we kind of got the glimpse of everybody.
Yeah, you don't have enough of a character study for all of them yet.
No. And I think we should preference this saying that we have not watched The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
We've not seen... I mean, you've seen what?
Oh, I saw 2 episodes.
2 episodes of it? What turned you off?
Just wasn't my cup of tea.
No?
No.
I mean, I know what's happening now with this season. You know what I mean? So there's no point in me watching it, considering I know what happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And I know exactly where everything's at right now. So I just don't feel like watching it. And also, I watch a lot of television anyway.
Yeah.
So there's just no point in me catching up. But I think we should preference that, because one of the big things that happened this season, besides Nick dying, was Madison. You know? Like, that, you basically just killed off your main character.
Yeah, she was the whole focal point.
Yeah.
Of the show. And it was
her
story.
Yeah, and I heard, I think, honestly, within the past, couple episodes, Morgan is very similar to what we saw Madison was at the beginning of the season. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, trying to be a better person.
Yeah.
And I think this show would have worked 100%. They could have done everything the same with Madison being, in Morgan's spot. You know what I mean?
You mean not have Morgan on?
Keep Morgan on Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
But have Madison...
Have her character continue, but more in the role that Morgan's playing right now.
Exactly.
Going out to help people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think of everything Morgan has done in the past 5 episodes.
Yeah. It's everything Madison would have done.
Could you have easily seen that be Madison?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think they done her dirty. I think that's probably the one, because Nick, sad, horrible, hated watching it.
Yeah.
But Frank wanted to leave the show.
Yeah.
You know?
And you don't have there's no issue with that. But yeah, if someone wants to be on the show and they take them off and they're, the main character, for crying out loud.
Yeah. It sucks. And I like Morgan. I like Morgan. He seems like he was a dumbass trying to save, I don't even know her name.
Did we ever even get
apparently
her name?
We have. I don't remember her name.
Oh, no.
But
it's called Crazy Lady.
All right, Crazy Lady. She was not going to change. I think we just are in a mentality of watching it and being like, why don't you just kill this person? You know what I mean? But we're not there. So,
yeah.
We have to think about it from their perspective of...
Well, everything that they've gone through, losing their humanity, getting it back. Yeah. Etc.
Because that's, their goal. You know, everyone is to make up for something. That's what brings them together as a unit.
Yeah.
Everyone has something to make up for. So, I don't know. Where do you think it's going to go for season 5? How far in the future do you think we'll flash forward to?
I don't think it'll go beyond 6 months.
6 months?
6 months to a year. Tops.
Yeah,
kind of it'll go beyond
because how much, I think it was a year, from season 3 to season 4. I think it was a year.
Yeah. What
they did for it. Someone brought up a good point, because I heard that the executive producer was like, hey, guess what, guys? Daniel isn't dead.
Okay.
So, do you think we would see him next season?
Well, if they've mentioned that he's not dead, then yes.
Yeah. I thought for sure we were going to see him at, the final moments of this episode.
Oh. Yeah.
Maybe just him,
walking somewhere
or something. It's just kind of alluding to the fact that, hey, he's going to be a part.
Or you just see someone walking in a silhouette not knowing who it is.
Yeah, you know, something like that. But one of my main things is we started this season, we kind of ended last season with Nick, Alicia, Strand, Madison, Daniel but Daniel's kind of up in the air because he got shot in the face. And he was like, we don't know if he's going to live or not. Yeah. But we started with those 4 people. Think how many people we have right now.
I know.
We have Morgan, Sarah, Wendell, June, John, Charlie, Al, Alicia, Strand,
Luciana.
Is that 10?
10.
We have 10 people. They expanded the cast so much. Yeah. But I have questions.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
What do you think about the way they integrated the new cast into the show? Like Morgan, John, Al, June, Sarah, Wendell. How do you think they integrated? Do you think they did it well, or do you think they could have done it better?
No, I think they did it well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't want to stop watching it.
That's true. Even though, like, they killed off Madison and Nick. I still was like, I'm still going to continue watching. Yeah. You know? Because Al's very interesting. She's the person that we know nothing about, really. Yeah. Like, besides the fact that we think we saw her family when she was dying.
When she was watching the tapes,
Yeah. June, we know a lot about her. She had a daughter. She lost her daughter.
And how that happened.
Yeah, and how that happened. John, we found out about, like, what he did because he...
Police officer.
Yeah, police officer and things like that. We know their story. And Charlie, we know about her, too. We know about her losing her parents, not being able to go to the beach, and, you know, being with Mel. I think that's what his name was. And Sarah, Wendell, we know about them. We know about how Wendell, you know, is paralyzed. We know that Sarah probably met Wendell, you know, through the Marines because they didn't accept him. Yeah. The only character we really don't know a lot about is Al.
And her story will be next time.
Probably. I find it interesting because a lot of people, like I've seen other reactions where people are upset at Al because she's solely focused on her van and
getting her
the tapes and stuff like that. And there's we never really found out why. Yeah. Like, what's the big focus?
Why does she need to tell the story?
Exactly. So people were upset about it.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, I wasn't upset necessarily because... I didn't know her. You know what I mean? Like, I did not know what she went through, so I can't really be like, oh, God, Al. Yeah. You know what I mean? Also, I like Maggie Grace. Yeah. I think she's just a cool bean.
Like I said, if you would have seen her when she first popped up on Lost, when she was on that.
I remember. I watched the pilot of Lost.
Well, yeah. Just the pilot, but you didn't see her character the whole way through.
No, I did not see her character full way through. I watched... Yeah.
I mean, at the end, she was great, but in the beginning, she was a selfish little spoiled brat. So,
but, no, because I remember watching the pilot of Lost and, like, seeing her because she had, like, blonde hair. And that's why whenever I saw her in the promo shot, I was like, what? You know, like, dark hair, shaved on the side, like, grungy, you know what I mean? But I remember her, like, screaming a lot on that beach.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, she was a spoiled brat.
Yeah. So I remember watching her in the finale when she got reunited with the one that she loved, Saeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I know all about the show and have not watched it? It's the same with Walking Dead. I know so much about Walking Dead. I know so much about Lost, but I have yet to watch it in full. I mean, I've definitely seen a lot of episodes of Lost.
Yeah.
I've seen the finale of Lost a number of times. I've seen the pilot of Lost a number of times.
Why?
I don't know, because I remember you watching the pilot. No, not, but just, I remember it being on TV or something.
You would have remembered more along than me watching the end of it.
Yeah.
That's about when you were
But older. I remember you, like, shielding my eyes away from the pilot getting taken up by the smoke monster.
I don't even think you were when I first watched it.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. Like, I don't know why. It may have been on TV, and you were just watching it to watch it.
I've only ever seen everything once.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know then. I don't know
and
how I watched it.
I don't remember what episode. I don't even know what year it started. don't remember.
I remember watching it by myself. I just don't understand.
No, you watched you watched the pilot after the whole series was done.
Oh, yeah, that's probably why.
Yes. You found it online or through whatever.
Yeah.
And then you watched it.
Yeah, because I was
because you're older, and I was fine if you watched it then. So.
Okay, back on to Fear.
Yes.
I got sidetracked. Okay. Who do you connect to most out of our new people? Out of our new characters, who do you connect to most?
I'd probably say June.
June?
Yeah.
I'd say June, too.
Yeah.
Honestly. And this is a little side question, but we kind of... Well, I mean, I definitely went through a phase of hating Charlie with all of my being.
Yes, I'm quite aware.
Charlie was just... I mean, she killed Nick.
I know.
And Nick was my favorite character.
I know.
So, it's kind of like, hey, you have to deal with this person that killed your favorite character for the rest of the time. You know what I mean? So, right now, I really don't have an opinion on her, I guess.
I was just going to ask you, what do you think of her now? Because I know a couple episodes ago, you were like, she can die. I don't care.
Yeah, okay, listen. The whole episode with her and Alicia, remember?
Yes.
Just that soul-focused episode. I was feeling very, like... I could tell what they were trying to do, trying to make me feel sympathy and things like that. But I find it really hard to forgive someone that I just don't care about in general. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about Charlie?
She's fine. I mean, she's probably the one character on the show where I could care less if she's there or not.
Yeah. Honestly?
I mean, honestly.
Out of those 10 people, yeah 100% agree. If I had to get rid of one, it'd be Charlie.
There's no contribution to the show as a whole, I think, that she makes.
Yeah. I mean,
other than she brought Alicia back from the edge.
Yeah.
So.
See, the thing, a part of me wants to see Alicia fall over the edge, wants to see Morgan fall over the edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could do that next season. Because this episode was kind of a climax to their... Will Morgan turn back to what?
But here's the thing: I can't see Alicia falling over the edge when she's already lost her mom and Nick.
Yeah,
there's nothing else that's going to be important enough for her to do that. So if she has them between the two of them, I can't see it happening.
But I'd love to just see it for like an episode. I wish they would have done that. I wish they would have pushed Alicia a little bit further over the edge.
Yeah.
And then maybe I would have felt more sympathy for Charlie. Because if Alicia did something that I thought, oh my god, Alicia, what are you doing? That type of thing.
Yeah.
I would have maybe felt more sympathy for Charlie because she would have taken her back, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know, but that's that. And how do you like the way they handled the time jumps for the first half of season 4? Because I know that was confusing to some people. Like the whole, like, going back and forth between the baseball field and then, like, our present. How do you think they handled all that?
I mean, looking back on it, it was okay. But during that, I was confused on sometimes.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on? And what? They're where? What's going, you know? So the
only thing that kept me, like, sane during it, you know, able to follow, was the filters.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You could only tell by how it looked on screen.
Yeah.
That was it.
Because it was so bright and hopeful and happy with Madison in the baseball field, and then the second that it turned gray, you're like, oh, we're back in present time, you know?
Yeah, after you saw, like, them shift back and forth 2 or 3 times, and you got what the gist of it was.
Okay, so I just watched this reaction the other day to, like, the recent episode. Not this one, obviously. But they were saying that if they don't see a body, they're not dead, and they're making that towards Madison. Do you think Madison's dead?
I'm just going to say it's 50-50, and exactly what I said at the beginning of this season, when we figured out that she was freaking killed off, and I went, she could still be alive.
Yeah.
So,
see, a little background on that one. I knew about Madison's death because with Fear the Walking Dead, me and my mom, we sometimes fall behind, like, within a couple weeks. So we'll sometimes miss an episode and we'll have to catch up, binge watch 2 or 3.
2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah. And there was one time when we didn't see the episode where Madison was going to die for, 3 months or something like that? It was crazy.
We didn't watch it until the start of this season.
Yeah, we did not, because we were just other things got in the way, but we did not see it. So obviously in that amount of time, avoiding spoilers gets hard and very difficult, especially when we're TV gurus, I'd say. So I knew about Madison going into it. My mom did not, because obviously I wouldn't spoil that for her. But she, after Madison's, death scene, she was like, what were you thinking? Were you like, oh, no, she's fine?
I just remember seeing it and thinking, well, yeah, she got out, right? She scrambled away, and it was like, wait a minute, she effing blew up? Are you kidding me? And just was,
Yeah.
That was just wrong.
Yeah.
On so many levels. And then when you told me that she didn't even want to leave the show, well, that made it even just that much worse.
That's the thing that I think, honestly, because this goes into another question. What did you think about this season as a whole? Was it your favorite? Was it your least favorite?
I'd say it was probably in the middle. It wasn't my least favorite. No.
Yeah.
I liked it. No, I liked it because I liked the new characters. I liked John and June, and I liked yeah. There's nothing I didn't like about this season. Let's put it that way.
Other than the Madison thing?
Oh, yeah, other than her getting
Nick.
killed. Yeah. I mean, other than them getting killed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I like the season as a whole.
Honestly, I was so upset when Nick died, because
I know.
It was a horrible thing. I hated it.
I know.
But and that kind of was like, you got to be kidding me, you know what I mean? And then they go off and kill Madison 3 episodes later or something. Yeah. What they should have done, honestly, if they wanted to kill Madison, killed her at the finale, you know what I mean? Don't kill her off 3 episodes after we just lost a major character.
Yeah.
And
her son to boot. 2 people from the same family.
I know.
Again.
And that's one of the things that I found, is that people are like, what is the show? This is not Fear the Walking Dead. Because Fear the Walking Dead is you're following the Clarks. You've always been following the Clarks.
Yep.
And now you're no longer following the Clarks. You're following one, because there's only one left.
Yeah.
You know? We only have 2 central characters from the first season, because Lucy came in season 2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's Strand and Alicia.
Strand and Alicia, that's it. And it feels like there's a center of attention got shifted, and now it's all about Morgan. Not to say that I don't like Morgan, it's just I watched the show for Alicia, Strand, Madison, Nick. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it was their way of trying to pull people that watch The Walking Dead over, which, fine. I mean, if it can pull more people to watch it, that's fine, but...
Yeah, but you also could have kept,
You could have kept Madison.
Yeah, you could have kept Madison, and then people who watch Fear solely, like us, would have been a lot more happier with the outcome of everything, you know?
I just don't know how they would have had her and Morgan's characters.
Together. Yeah, it would have been too much.
I think if they would have... Here's the thing. I think if they would have kept Madison's character and had Morgan on as well... They wouldn't have had to. They would have had their storylines be parallel together. They wouldn't have brought them together until the last one.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how they would have done everything else then. So
because Madison was so similar to Morgan, you know.
Yep.
And you couldn't have had two similar characters like that being a part of the show together.
Yeah.
You know,
because there would have been no contrast between them.
I think the one thing that, makes me upset, other than the fact that Madison's gone, is the fact that I feel like the executive producers, whoever made the decision to kill off Madison, was just like, hey, we want to get more viewers on this show, let's get Morgan over here, and let's kill off Madison, you know what I mean? That, you're not really thinking about the people who watch Fear to watch the Clarks, You're thinking about, well, if people watch Fear, or if people watch The Walking Dead, they must watch Fear, or they should watch Fear. Let's try to make them watch, solely focused on that. I think that's the one thing that just bugged me about it. But anyway, enough about Madison.
Okay.
Okay, so what did you think about the villain? We can call her a villain. What did you think about that whole thing?
The crazy lady?
Crazy lady, yeah. Good villain, bad villain, so-so.
Well, I would say overall a so-so villain, but I don't know. I guess I don't know that it advanced the storyline a whole lot, other than they are now going to be helping, and they're setting up where they are.
But I feel like they could have had that.
But they could have had that without her.
Yeah.
As doing what
because
she did.
That's what whole Morgan whenever they were dropping off the boxes in the first place.
Yeah, I just think for the sake of the story, because each season they have to have some sort of villain that they're fighting against.
Yeah.
So, here's this lady with this, particular time. I mean, I guess it worked for the purpose of what they wanted it to, but
I feel like they could, honestly, if you got rid of her character, they would have ended the season like 5 episodes ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what I mean. With her story, they advanced the storyline because this way they had something to, get together for, to fight for, etc. So there had to be some kind of villain, and you've already seen so many different kinds in the past, so,
I do have to say, though, this season is definitely...
she did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
I just hated her guts. So.
Yeah. There's not one part of me that was like, I want to continue seeing this person on screen.
No.
Because you could have villains that you just straight up hate, which is this person. Yeah. And then you can have compelling villains that you want to see on screen.
Like Daniel.
Would you consider Daniel a villain?
At the time.
Yeah.
Up until, and in the beginning, until you learn more why he was like that.
Yeah. Why he was so jaded.
But there was a lot more character development because it was a lot more episodes when it was ongoing. With her, she didn't show up until
because with Daniel,
the last 4 or something. So
because with Daniel
was in from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of already had a connection with him.
Yeah.
With everything like that. Yeah. But this season, I'd say if it's ranking, I'd say my favorite season of Fear was last season, season 3.
Yeah.
With Troy and Jake and all those guys.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I loved pretty much every single episode. I thought was consistently good.
Yeah.
They could have added, how the farm, last season, they could have added, John, June, all those people to be on the farm.
Yeah.
And to have,
See, but the problem with that, too, is that all you're doing is having them work together for the greater good of everybody else, and that's what Madison was doing.
Yeah.
And how much storyline can you get with people just living on the farm?
But how much storyline are you going to get out of... Well, no, they're searching for people and trying to help people.
Exactly, so...
Yeah, because Madison, season 3 was the farm. You know what I mean? Before we started going out into that weird, shopping center or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense. What do you think about all of our original characters now? Like Alicia, Strand, Lucy. I consider those 3 our central... original characters that we've had for the longest. Where do you think they're going? Do you still care about them as much, considering the spotlight has been moved from them?
Well, I've always liked Strand's character, so no matter what he does, I'll watch him.
Yes. Last season when he, for a hot second, I was like, Strand, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. I still liked him, and I still loved his character, because he's been right up there with my favorite.
Yeah, no, he's always been one of my top people that I like. Alicia, she sometimes gets on my nerves.
Really? Why?
I don't know. She's kind of seemed like she was whiny there for a while. But,
see, you just might have made people mad. Alicia is a fan favorite. Definition of a fan favorite. Well,
here's the thing. I don't have a problem. I mean, just for a while. I'm not talking just recently, but a while ago, she seemed like she was a little whiny or whatever. But
were you talking about beginning of the season or season 3?
Probably season 3.
Oh, okay.
Well, and here's the thing. She hasn't been on every single episode this season either, though.
This season has been weird in format where we have whole episodes without Alicia or Strand.
Exactly.
Or,
So, and then Luciana, I hate to say it.
I feel like you don't like Luciana.
I just don't care about her.
Yeah?
Here's my thing with her. She's also someone else that if she wasn't on the show right now, I wouldn't care.
Okay.
Simply because... her whole reason for being there, first of all, it was her parents.
Yeah.
And then, wait.
No, her parents, I think, were dead. It was that guy everyone thought was, immune.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
But he wasn't actually immune.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, what the hell am I doing here? You know?
I mean, here's the thing. The whole reason she was on the show was because of Nick.
Yeah.
Nick is gone.
Yeah.
So she just kind of, for me, she's just sort of like a tag along in a way.
Yeah.
And then this season she wasn't on a whole lot, and then half the episode you saw her just sitting there listening to freaking music in the mansion and she didn't do anything.
Well, would you consider Strand a tag along?
No, because he's been there since the beginning. I know Luciana's been there, but not since the very beginning.
Basically,
her whole purpose was to be there for Nick.
That's why she's got written into the story, was because Nick needed something to discover.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's
Strand
why...
was an original character that was created for a purpose.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I get you.
Okay. So, if she was not on the show, I wouldn't...
Have you always felt this way towards Lucy?
No, I mean, she was... Like, when they found her, when they were in that... the camp, whatever the heck it was, that place. I mean, she was fine then. I liked her. Because I she kind of gave Nick some crap back, which was great. So, no, I didn't have an issue with her or anything then. I just think that now there's not a lot of purpose that she serves.
Yeah.
She's kind of like she's like Alicia.
Do you think Alicia doesn't serve any purpose?
No, she's fine. But I just don't think Lucy, like I said, I think more that she was to be there with Nick.
Yeah.
And then she went away for a while.
Yeah.
And then she wasn't on for how many episodes?
Yeah. Which that
and then
part
she came
was
back
so
and was
weird.
again listening to music and whatever in the mansion. Nothing was going on. And now all of a sudden she's... I will say that the episode that redeemed her for me...
Was the polar bear?
Was Polar Bear. And her helping him. So I like that. But again, if she were to be killed off... I wouldn't be upset.
Oh, honestly, I think a lot of the characters, there's probably a ranking that I could do on who I would care more about dying and who would I care less about dying, and Lucy would be on the lesser side. Even though I do like her character, I think I care more about her character than you do.
Yeah.
Because I remember whenever remember at the end of season, I think 2, when her and Nick were like, marching with all the people to like get out of the camp, and then all of a sudden they got shot, and it was like a whole thing. I cared a lot about Lucy in that situation, so I remember feeling a lot of like protectiveness over this character.
Yeah.
But ever since she left Nick at the farm in season 3, I'm like, and then came back, I was like, why?
Exactly.
So I get you. Yeah. Honestly, the people that I care more about right now than a lot of people are John and June.
Oh, I love John and June.
They are amazing. That sunshine line, like, come on.
What was it? You know how to recognize sunshine when you see it?
It's like, come on. Oh. That was, my heart melted.
I know.
There's not a lot of couples on TV right now that I'm, like, actively rooting for, because most of them are in a horrible spot and or, like, non-existent, Those two, 100%, they're just so pure and good, We had a whole episode dedicated to them this season, which was my favorite episode of the season.
I know.
It was just so cute and wholesome, and it's just like, yes, Those two, honestly, if one of them ever dies, depending on how much I, like the other characters at that certain point, I probably consider quitting the show. Yeah. That's how much I've, like, grown to love these two and their relationship. But that was just adorable. One thing I do have to say, though, man, all these guys are really lucky that they keep finding walkie-talkies everywhere.
I know.
They're everywhere. That's some BS.
I know. That and finding any cars with gas still in them.
Yeah.
That's
like
amazing.
When Morgan was, when he was escaping the crazy lady, and he was hobbling, and he found that one car and hotwired it and started to go. I'm like, that's a little...
Yeah. Not after, 5 years of living in nothing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just, there's a lot of plot, a little bit of plot convenient things, which you have to,
Well, yeah, you have to have them.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah,
Side note, what do you think about Jimbo? What did you think, considering he's dead?
Well, honestly, because I love the actor ever since Nikita, and then on 12 Monkeys, I'd watch him on anything.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't care what his character was because I like him that much.
Yeah.
So, no, I wasn't bothered by his character.
See, a lot of people were bothered. I'd have to show you.
I just was fine with
there's a Skybound, which if you're listening to this, you probably know of it, considering, you know, it's all about fear and Walking Dead related. And I watched the compilation, and a lot of people did not like Jim. A lot of people. The thing is,
he never really did anything horrible, though.
He was just, I think he was testing people's nerves when he kept blaming Morgan. Even though Morgan had 2 walkers on him, he was like, you could have saved me. I'm like, he was dealing with stuff.
Here's the thing. I will say that, like, when he kept blaming Morgan in last episode.
Yeah.
About, like, oh, you know, this is why I'm here. This is what... Okay, that was kind of annoying. But up until then...
Yeah.
You know, he was just...
He was just a snarky guy who's never been out. Yeah. You know, he's never been out in the world, so he's just trying to deal with it.
I mean, honestly, the brother and sister...
Wendell and Sarah,
they did worse things than he did.
Yeah.
But I liked them. So,
what do you think?
No, I had no problem with his character.
And also, I felt sympathy whenever he was about to die. Mm-hmm. When he was giving the recipe to Sarah, I was like, oh, that's...
Yep. Like I said, in the end, I knew in the end he was going to come through for them. I even told you that. I thought it was going to be a little sooner.
Yeah, me too.
When Morgan had to, you know, when he was, like, telling them to leave and stuff, I thought it was going to be then. But it's a good thing it wasn't, because this made way more sense.
Yeah. What do you think about Sarah and Wendell? Our real newbies, because
they're great. I love their characters.
I love them. Yeah. See, I put them... We've only met them, a couple episodes ago? Or, 5 episodes ago?
Yeah.
And I care more about them than some of the characters we've had since, like, the beginning of season 4. Mm-hmm. You know?
No, I like their character.
Sarah is just great. Like, the comedic aspects of those two are just so good.
Yeah, they bring a nice little sense of humor into the show that has been kind of missing.
Yeah.
You know?
Because everybody else... Like, Strand is funny.
Yeah.
Strand's funny. But he's the funny that's, like, dark. Like, he has a dark humor to him.
Yeah.
These guys, they have a sarcastic, witty, quick humor that's, like, missing from the show. That's very true. I didn't even notice that. I wonder if they're series regulars. I have no idea if they're series regulars. I hope they are, or if they don't, they better get promoted.
I guess we'll find out next go-around.
Yeah, I guess so. One of my favorite things about this episode, the finale, is that we felt real tension, but, like, nothing was happening, if you get me. Like, they were all just literally lying in the ground in the station, sick, and Morgan was just lying next to, you know, the crazy lady.
Yeah.
And normally when you feel that type of tension, it's with a gunfight, or things are, like, happening, and they're trapped in a building or something like that. These guys, they were all just sick, but I was like, oh my god. You know what I mean?
Someone's gonna die.
I thought for sure someone was going to die. Did you think someone was going to die?
No, I didn't.
I thought maybe for sure.
The only person I would have thought would have died, if it would have been anyone, would have been Charlie.
Yeah.
Simply because she was the smallest.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking. I was like, well, if the sickness is going to affect anybody, it's going to affect Charlie.
If the poison's going to be, So, but if she only had, like, a cup of coffee compared to 2 or something, so who knows?
Well, no, because she could have drank the water. It was the water that was the problem.
Well, I know, but they were making the coffee with the water.
Yeah. But they also couldn't drink the water.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how many people she poisoned, though? Mm-hmm. You know, like, because, I mean, there isn't a lot of people in Texas. We haven't seen, like, a lot of people. But there are a decent amount of people that come through, because we had that whole montage of the crazy lady going through and, like, killing everybody with the walker or whatever. So she could have killed a lot of people, and that sucks. Could you imagine, like, a little kid? Like, coming through with a family, and then, like, having that water. After not having water for however many days. That sucks. Like, she sucks for that.
I know.
Crazy. Did you ever feel sympathy for her?
The only time I felt sympathy for her was when you found out why...
Yeah.
What happened with her and her husband on the side of the road.
There was a split second when that scene was happening, when she was just, like... when the cars were passing and she just lifted her arms up in the air, was exasperated. In her face in that moment, I was just like, oh, you know, like, I feel for you.
Yeah.
But then the second that she buried her husband and started talking to herself and laughing and going crazy, I was like, oh, okay, that sympathy's pretty much gone now. Yeah. But no, like, I don't know. I feel like her as a villain didn't really do it for me. It was, like you said, it was a conflict to have a conflict.
They needed to have a villain.
Yeah.
And that was the one they had this season.
That's true.
You know.
So if you had to pick one character, this is a question I just thought of. If you had to pick one character to save out of this show, say the same thing were to happen like next season, there, get rid of all the characters.
God. Okay.
If you had to pick one character to follow,
okay,
who would it be? Who do you think has the strongest attributes and story behind them, or could have the strongest story behind them if you had to pick one to follow?
I don't know, that's hard because I really like John and June.
Yeah,
but the problem with that is John would be very happy just settling down and not going anywhere and doing anything, so there wouldn't really be a storyline for him.
Yeah,
I don't think.
June, I think her whole purpose is helping people.
Yeah. But as long as John's around, she's going to be with him.
Exactly.
So there you go.
So those two are a package deal.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. John and June.
Them.
No, so not them. Like I said, Luciana, I don't care.
Sarah Wendell, we don't know enough about them to really
I don't have enough invested in them.
Yes. Charlie, obviously not.
No.
That leaves Strand, Alicia, and Morgan.
And I don't know that. I mean, as much as I love Strand, he's also someone that would be happy to settle and not do anything.
Yeah,
like he was in the mansion.
He even said before, he was like, we can go back to the mansion.
Yeah. So, honestly, it would be a toss-up between Alicia and Morgan.
Mm-hmm. I think if it's between those, because I agree with pretty much everything you said, the toss-up between those two characters, I'd have to pick Alicia because I know her more.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only reason why I'd be like, Alicia, you know? But at the same time, I think Alicia, she'd find a purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the only person that's, like, would actively look for a purpose because she's trying to show her mom that she's going to be the person that saved the bird. You know?
Yeah.
And, quick note. One of my favorite scenes out of this finale was when Strand was like, I found someone to drink with again. And they had that shot where it was very mirrored to Madison and Strand. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
But awesome. But yeah, I'd follow Alicia. You know? And that's one of the things is that you have characters now with the show that you can't kill off. You know? You could never... I don't think you could... You can't kill off Morgan. Morgan's never going to die. You know? Unless, like, they do the same thing with...
Never thought Madison would be killed off either, so...
Well, I didn't think Madison... If they didn't bring Morgan into the show, Madison would not be gone.
Yeah.
You know? Madison would not be gone if Morgan was never brought in the show.
Yeah.
So, I think that if they were to ever... If Lenny James, who plays Morgan, were to have ever left or wants to leave... Alicia would take that spot, I think.
Or, look at that, Madison's not dead.
Oh, that would be so sick. I would love that, but I know she's on a new show now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I heard that she might be on a new show or something along those lines, so...
Look it up.
I don't know. If they could ever decide to bring Madison back, they could.
Yes.
Because there's been enough bull crappy things that, like, works... You know what I mean? You could always decide to bring her back. I don't think they'd do it, but...
Yeah, they could.
They could, if they really wanted to, which I think is a good thing. But, overall thoughts for Season 4, and where do you think it's going for Season 5? Do you think that the next season will follow the same format of minis? Because a lot of people were talking about being worried that... Because it's a big group now. And focusing on all of the characters is hard. You know? Do you think they'll break it up again? Or do you think we'll have them stay together and they'll just have to try to find a way for it all to work with all the characters?
I think they'll do little mini things. The only reason being is because if they are going to try to start something there at the plant... then the whole idea is them going out and finding people, then that's going to be the storyline.
We'll have, like,
that
characters
each group
break up
is going
and,
to...
Okay.
Yeah, like Alicia strand will go out on their own and go in one direction and that'll be their story. Mm-hmm. And the same with everybody else.
Do you have a hope that they should do something better next season? Like, do you have hopes for, like, should they focus more on this character or this character?
No, because honestly, I think they did a pretty decent job focusing on everybody this season.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
So,
I think...
I don't want to see them focus on just one particular... I mean, Morgan was definitely the central theme throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, so...
I like if they focus more on Alicia Strand and Luciana, because I would like to care more about Lucy. You know what I mean? I want to care more about Lucy, you know, since she's, you know, so I'd like to get more of our core back.
Yeah.
And obviously more stuff with John and June. Like, literally, I could have another, like, 5 episodes dedicated to them. I'd be like, yeah, I'm watching it. You know, because they're just so good together. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I think that's it. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this first podcast. Hope you enjoyed listening to my mom. Maybe in the future she'll be back on talking about whatever show.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.